Hey, by the way, tonight's game, New York wins that outright.
You know he's on top. Million subs, he never gonna flop. Out of Chicago, where the streets don't sleep. Betting on games, making cash real deep. Crystal ball for sports, he knows the lines. He's a sports aficionado, the money he finds. From football to basketball, he's always on point. Predicting winners never disappoints. He's got that hustle, that Chicago vibe. Making moves on the streets, cash on the side. With E, you know it's always a bet. He's the king of the game, never forget.
Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports show for February 25th. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric. I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. Absolutely loaded episode for you today. My boy Wade from Top Flight Wagers is this week's special guest. Him and I are going to have a weekend takeaway, plus share our bets for Wednesday, and Gino will have his horse racing bet of the day. But before I get all of that, I want to say thank you to the two sponsors, JustOutTennis.store. Visit JustOutTennis.store. Use promo code ETOFT21 for 10% off. And PropHexT. Download the app. Use promo code ETOFT21 to get 2% back for the first month on all your bets. Now let's jump in and see what Gino's horse racing bet of the day is from Gulfstream Park.
So I'm here in New York City doing some work this weekend. I've been trying to record a few different times, but it's very loud out here in downtown New York. But anyways, want to look at one of the big races this weekend for Eric and all the folks out there. The Grade 2 Fountain of Youth is going to be race 13 on Saturday at Gulfstream Park. And I'm going to take a look at the number 6 River Thames. I just don't think there's that much early speed in here. What's nice about River Thames, not only does he have speed, but he's shown us the ability to sit off and pass horses. So this is a big race this weekend. It's one of the prep races right before the Florida Derby. So horses from this race will likely go on to the Florida Derby, and then the Kentucky Derby. Hopefully we'll see River Thames there. I like the number 6 River Thames as our play for this week. Good luck, everyone. Hope you have an awesome week.
Make sure to give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me, Gino B, on social media. Now let's welcome this week's special guest from the hotbed of Carmel, Indiana, my boy Wade, aka Top Flight Wagers on social media. Wade, how are you doing today, my man?
Doing fantastic, man. Glad to be here.
Interesting college basketball. We have some questions popping up in the chat room already. So let's just get right to it. Hey, fellas, love your content. The Big Ten seems up for the taking right now. Who do you guys have coming out on top?
Who do you think?
Well, dude, I'm a Michigan State homer. So
I know you are. So I was asking you.
How can I word it? It's always going to be weird. Like Illinois, like I have no idea what's going on with them. They can't make shit. They can't throw the ball in the hoop right now. Michigan, I think, is a little bit of a paper lion. You look, they haven't won what are they, 8-2 with not winning a game in the last 10, with not winning a game by more than 4 points and a loss by 33 and 27 points in that span. So I'm not really that big on them. Wisconsin, their offense is great, but they're so 3-point reliant now. I think top to bottom, I think it's Michigan State, but I'll be honest, I don't want them to win the Big Ten tournament because I don't want them to be too beat up for March.
I think that UCLA might make a run in the tournament and win that thing. Mm-hmm. That's just my hunch.
Does Michigan seems like an underrated team just because they're not – Michigan stinks. I'm not a big Michigan guy. They can't make free throws at all. When you have your 7-foot center being the guy taking the ball up, and he's 65%, that's not the way I would want to close a game. You're a Texas fan. After Texas has lost to South Carolina by 15, are they still a tournament team?
I don't know.
You're not.
They're going to have to do some damage in the tournament for sure.
They're definitely going to have to win a couple games here or there.
Yeah.
Which team will be a 7th seed or lower that can make a run in the tournament?
I don't know. What do you think, man?
Dude, I was looking at KenPom today. Gonzaga is one of the most analytically graded high teams, and they're bottom 10 in the KenPom unlucky rankings. I think they're going to be due for some regression. If they face a number one, if they're in that, 8-9 or 7-10 line and they face a number one that isn't Duke or Auburn, I think they could make a run. I think they can make it to the second weekend. What say you?
I haven't even seen any of the projections, to be honest. And I have Ken Palm, and I haven't even seen where they don't have like a
they have a luck rating.
Yeah, that's all they've got is the luck rating.
And when you look how low they are, they're like 366 or something. Yeah,
no, that is crazy. I don't know, man. I really have not been that big on Gonzaga this year. I don't know. It's tough. I need to really see who the teams are going to be. I have no idea who's rated at what right now.
How do I get on this? But been killing it. Well, just DM me, dude. That's how you get on it. DM me. Bobby, my boy Bobby invited me to the Michigan game. I would have been courtside on Friday night, but I had my nephew's birthday, so I missed that. He also chimes in. Maryland over State tomorrow. Sports Facts chimes in. Should have been on Oklahoma State tonight. Oklahoma State, big win over Iowa State tonight. How good is Auburn? Are they a Final Four lock?
I do think they have a good shot to get there. I think they're going to probably draw a pretty good bracket.
There are a handful of teams. Like, I feel if they play a team like a Texas A&M or a Michigan State, a team that can kind of gum it up in the half court, they could give them trouble. But that's the type of team they're going to need to play. They're going to need to play a team that can kind of gum it up a little bit.
I think Houston could probably trip them up too.
Houston obviously fights in that. Yes, I know. I'm always late. I'll tell you what. I used to try to post them. I had a Discord. No one seemed to be really interested in it. And I'll be honest, it's tough for me to post in Discord just because if I bet something live, I'm watching a game, I bet something live, it's already on the delay. By the time I post it out, it's already gone. So this is just something I'm kind of doing for myself. Gino in the big city. Okay. Have you listened to any of these Twitter spaces? I have not listened to any of these Twitter spaces that have been going on.
I used to.
I have no idea what you're referring to. I don't really listen to that many podcasts. I just kind of stay in my own little shell and just do my own little thing and try to watch shitty television shows on my downtime. That's what I do, man. Let's jump right into it. Let's look back. What is your takeaway from over the weekend, my friend?
I guess my biggest takeaway was I thought that Kentucky was going to honestly go into Alabama and get a little more trouble. For some reason, I just keep thinking that Alabama is going to fade away. I guess I just am not really that big of that high on them this year. I think when they go on the road, they can really struggle. And I know a lot of people are high on them to make a big run. I think Alabama is one of those teams that can get upset, and I just really thought Kentucky was going to go in there and give them some fits. So I guess that also makes me start to question how good Kentucky really can be, how far they can go. Their offense is just so good. Those two teams are just two teams that I've really had my eye on. And I know you're a big Texas A&M fan, but I was actually on the Tennessee side there on Saturday, so I did think they were going to be able to cover against Texas A&M, and a lot of people are on Texas A&M to cover. So Tennessee's another weird team, man. Their offense can kind of disappear. So really between Alabama, Kentucky, and Tennessee, it's like the whole SEC. Everybody's rated so high. I think some of these teams are a little fraudulent. I don't know. I can really see Tennessee's offense fading. So if we were to see Tennessee and Texas A&M play again, I think Texas A&M would probably beat them. I just don't trust Tennessee's offense. So The more I see some of these teams play, the more I'm starting to get a good feel for like how deep they can go in the tournament. It's really all going to be who they play, though, at the end of the day.
It's all about the matchups, like how everything matches up. And I'll be honest, like if I'm one of the top teams in the SEC, I really don't want to win that tournament because it's just such a grind toward the end of it. You know what I mean? Like winning these tournaments, if you're already locked in and the potential to win it all, we've seen historically these teams don't do well. My takeaway, I love this Texas A&M team, as you said, and I'm invested in them. Got them at a great price, 16-1 to make the Final Four. But I hate what I saw from them this weekend. feel they need to play a lot more like my boys, Michigan State, come March. They're averaging 6.9 made threes per game, 261st in the nation, shooting 30.6% from deep, 336th in the nation. But they attempt 22.6 threes per game. Like, why so many? Now, let's look at Michigan State, who also struggles to shoot from three. But they play it to its strengths. Their style, fast break, attacking the rim, strong defense, driving, getting fouls, going to the free throw line, and they only attempt 19 threes per game. And I really feel this is what Texas A&M should emulate. Taylor and Phillips are excellent at attacking to the rim, getting to the free throw line. They're the second best offensive rebounding team in the nation, creating second chance points. I just feel in games when they play Tennessee, they can't afford to attempt 43 pointers in a game like that and expect to win. They should aim to slow the game down, turn it into a half-court grind, and I feel they can compete with any team. If they can continue to rely too heavily on threes, and they face a team like a Drake, I think they're in trouble and an upset alert in the second round, and they're not even going to make it out of the first weekend.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
hey, speaking of, while you're reading that, I was going through the Haslametrics bracketology. Speaking of Drake, they're at a 12 seed. Drake is a team that could possibly win 2 games. I'm not sure how deep they would go, but they're a pretty dangerous team, especially as a 12 seed. I don't really, like you said, they've got Gonzaga as a 10 seed right now. I also don't mind Baylor out that 10 line they've got right now. Both of those teams can make it. We got UConn as a 9 seed. It's kind of crazy of all these veteran teams, good teams, solid teams that are rated lower. So,
I mean, I want Drake. I want UC San Diego.
Sure.
Like, those are kind of teams I like. I like Cal Irvine. Whoever gets out of the Big West, I'd love it to be a two bid league, but in reality is it's not going to. Whoever gets that bid, I'm totally going to be into it.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into the bets. LSU doing the second halves. Yeah, you missed it. I did this whole thing last week, and I've talked to you about it, about these sitting on the timeouts for that first 4 minutes. Like, all these coaches always talk about, well, I want a timeout at the end of the game. But there's so many goddamn stoppages now. You can cherry pick so many effing timeouts that it really doesn't even matter having a timeout. Like, you can burn all your timeouts before the 4 minute mark. And there's so many timeouts about who's the ball off. Is there a flagrant foul? You know what I mean? All that shit you can cherry pick, dude. So how these coaches are managing these games are just brutal. Let's get into the bets. Before we get into the bets, we need to look back how we did last week. 5-1 last week with Jake hitting Missouri team total over 85, Temple Charlotte over 148.5, but lost VMI plus 6.5. Old Uncle Rico hit Boise State minus 2.5, Georgetown minus 3.5, Arkansas plus 16.5. College basketball for the show, we are 10-2. Let's look to continue the winning ways of the show and jump right into it. Your first bet, my friend, is in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, no pressure. Following that week, nice week last week, guys. I'm going to go with the first pick here is University of Illinois, Chicago, +8, -110. UIC are 9-3, 75% against the spread in their last 12 games on the road. And they are a respectable 7-5 on the road. They have covered this line in 8 of the last 11 on the road this season. They have not covered the last 3, but in 2 of those road games against Drake and Murray State, they were looking for revenge. So I kind of don't really look at those too harsh. Northern Iowa has also not covered this line in 6 of their last 8 games, and 3 of those were at home. UIC lost by 27 at home to Northern Iowa at home, so I expect them just to have a better showing here. They probably won't win the game, but I do think they can keep within the 8 here. So I like that. My first play.
I like it. My first play, and look, dude, I am going in your neck of the woods. Give me the Butler Bulldogs plus 7.5. Gambling is all about buying low and selling high, and this is a prime example. St. John's shooting regression, coming off a standalone game where they shot 42% from three, unsustainable for a team ranked 334th in the nation in three-point shooting. Hit 21 of 27 free throws, 78% in that game, but the season average is 68.9, 285th in the nation. I expect some regression. Over the last 3 games, shooting 40% from deep due for negative shooting regression. Their opponents over the same stretch, 28.9 from three due for some positive regression, which benefits Butler. Butler's three-point shooting edge, 4th best three-point shooting team in the Big East. Per Bartorovic, 9th best three-point shooting team in the nation for the month of February. Should be able to capitalize on the positive regression from deep. Free throw shooting and rebounding factors. Hard to trust St. John's to win by margin when they shoot 69% from the charity stripe. St. John's is an elite offensive rebounding team, but Butler is 32nd in defensive rebounding for the month of February per Bartolovic. They're going to be able to limit St. John's second chance points. Butler is excellent this year in drawing fouls and getting to the line, which is key against the St. John's aggressive defense. Home court advantage at Hinkle-Finkelhaus should lead to some favorable calls for Butler. Butler's momentum and key players, won 4 of their last 5. Brooks is on fire, 24 against DePaul. Also, you look at my boy Finley Bizjack. Did I pronounce that right? He's been lighting up from deep. They're committing only 13.9 fouls per game. It's going to limit what St. John's is able to do to get to the line. They're holding opponents to 30% from deep, leading the Big East and ranking 34th nationally. I think Butler's efficient offense and three-point shooting is going to be able to keep them in this game. St. John's shooting regression, poor free throw percentage, and reliance on the offensive rebounding is going to make it hard for them to trust them to cover. Home court, momentum, matchups, favor Butler to keep it close, maybe even win it outright. Give me the Butler Bulldogs here, plus 7.5, my friend. Real quick, that is on my list to do this weekend to kind of look for some MLB futures. I have nothing planned. Maybe Wade and I could talk off camera and put together something. I don't know.
Yeah, I just posted my futures article today. I just haven't put it on it.
I haven't. Full transparency, I know I'm going to bet on my man crush Brian Wu to win the Cy Young, but other than that, I have no idea what I'm doing. Next bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with another smaller school here. I'm going to go with Rhode Island +4, -110. Dayton is just 1-4, 20% their last 5 against the spread as a favorite. Dayton actually smoked Rhode Island last season at home by 34. So I think this is a good spot for Rhode Island to get a little payback. I'm not sure if they really had this game circled or not, but they only played one time last year, so I think this would be a spot for them to look to get a win. Now they get them at home. Rhode Island's actually 13-2 at home, and Dayton's a little struggled on the road this year. They're 3-4 on the road. Rhode Island has actually covered this line in 13 of their 15 games at home this season, so they've done a very good job at covering, at least not losing by more than 4. And they have covered the last 3 by winning them outright. I actually think they can probably win this game outright again. I can see a 77-76 type of game, either going both ways. So I do think they can actually win this outright. So I wouldn't hate a sprinkle on their money line. Dayton has failed to cover this line in 3 of the last 4 overall and 4 of the last 7 on the road.
I like it. I love me. I have always been a fan of Rhode Island since and I don't mean to date myself, the Tino Mobley era.
Yeah.
A little old school to Tino Mobley. My next bet, I'm going to Big Ten country, and I know your old man loves the Hoosiers, but I'm sorry. Give me Penn State here plus 5.5. I feel this is a great spot to fade Indiana. Letdown spot coming off a massive comeback win over Purdue. Outscored them 48-21 in the second half. Prime letdown spot. Indiana has struggled in less marquee matchups, losing 4 straight conference home games before beating Purdue. One thing, ever since Woodson announced he was stepping down or fired, however you want to do it. He's kind of just said, F it, I'm going to do weird shit. They haven't done a zone all year, and they're like throwing out a zone defense, and it's throwing people a little bit for a loop. Penn State has actually been pretty good against the zone. They have three guys that can shoot over 36% from deep. Ace Baldwin is going to be able to penetrate the middle of that zone, create some openings for their shooters. Penn State snapped a 7-game losing streak. They're coming off back-to-back wins over Nebraska and Minnesota. They have confidence going into this game. Ace Baldwin's been electric. Yantic Coleman, 7 feet, 250 pounds. Indiana has shown they struggled against size, and he provides an interior presence. He's averaging 12 and 6 per game. When we look at Indiana this year, shooting from three, they're only shooting 30.6% at home from deep. Not shooting three is playing a team that's going to be shooting a lot of threes against the zone is going to make it hard for them to cover that number. When we look at Ken Pom, Penn State 67th overall, 60th adjusted offense, 86 adjusted defensive efficiency. When we look at the Pythagorean win total, Penn State is actually better than Indiana. They rank 334th in Ken Pom's lunk rankings, one of the unluckiest teams in the country, meaning they're better than their record suggests. When you just look at the end of the day, Indiana letdown spot, Penn State gaining momentum, playing better. They have the right personnel to attack this Indiana zone. With Indiana's poor shooting, Penn State's size advantage, I think they're going to be able to keep this close, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win it outright. Give me Penn State here, plus 5.5.
It's a good spot. I love these kind of revenge spots.
Oh, yeah. That's another
and to get plus money, you're not even having to take a money line or anything, or take them as a favorite. I like that spot even better.
Next bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oregon State money line here. As of looking at that earlier, I haven't checked in the last hour, I guess, hour and a half. I was gonna see if they had maybe a -1.5 to get a better odds. I think the money line for this was -138. I'd play this at least 2% anyways, but if I could get like -1.5, a little bit better than -130, I'd probably play that, or at least play -2. I think it was -2.5. I don't think I really like the 3, but I want to go with Oregon State, man. They have the much more efficient offense here. Speaking of Ken Pom, they're 48th ranked adjusted efficiency. If you just look at their offense, they're lit up green. They're shooting ninth best free throw percentage, almost 80%. They shoot 70. They're 72nd 2-point percentage, shooting 54, and their 3-point percentage is 36th. So especially at home, I really like their offense. They are 15-2 at home this year. San Francisco is 4-5 on the road. Oregon State gets a chance at revenge after losing by 9 at San Francisco when they played in the middle of January. Oregon State is on a 3-game winning streak, coming off back-to-back road wins, so I like that they can look to keep the momentum here. They have won 7 of their last 8 at home, beating teams like Gonzaga and Santa Clara. San Francisco has lost 4 of the last 7 on the road. The only wins are really coming against the bottom dwellers of the conference, like San Diego, Pepperdine, LMU. So when they face the upper-tier teams, they have lost by 11, 20, 23, and they lost by 9 at Washington State. So when they go on the road against the better teams, they kind of get blown out here. So that's why I guess I don't really mind the -1.5, -2 if you can get it, but money line at -138, I'll be happy to take that. I definitely think they're going to win this game.
Speaking of Bama, did you see their score? I have not. You got a Bama
They
score?
smashed somebody. Who were they playing today? I can't even remember.
They're playing Mississippi State. Hold on.
Right, that is correct.
Holy shit. 41-73.
They're losing?
They're winning.
They're at home?
Yep.
Yeah, they're good at home. So when they go on the road, they're really questionable. So I just wonder what they're going to do when they.
Luka ain't getting 50. Look, dude, I put a quarter of a unit on Luka at 15-1 to get 50 today.
He's not getting 50 points tonight. You might as well throw some money on it, but that ain't happening.
I mean, you got to pour a little money on that.
Yeah, sure. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
He's a little petty fucker. My last bet, and I'm doing it. Give me the Horn plus 5.5. Great spot to fade Arkansas. Coming off back-to-back tough road games against Texas A&M and Auburn, an emotional win at home over 15th ranked Missouri. Letdown spot. Arkansas 4-8 this season. ATS as a favorite. And Calipari, his teams have this trend that when they get to February and March, they tend not to cover. End of February and March, he's only 40% ATS against the spread in his coaching career. Texas is a buy low candidate coming off a loss to South Carolina on the road, beginning a great bounce back spot. Revenge angle. This is the second matchup against Arkansas. They're going to make an adjustment. They only lost by 6 on the road earlier this season. Texas shoots 36% from 3 on the season, but hit just 30% the last 5 games due for some positive shooting regression. Opponents during that time frame, 39% from deep. Positive regression due for Texas, negative for Arkansas. Rebounding advantage. Texas has an edge on the glass, which should lead to some second chance points. Another key thing is Texas guards, they don't turn the ball over. This is going to limit Arkansas's ability to score in transition. Matchup advantage. Johnson had 25 points last game against Arkansas. Bad shooting night. He's primed for a big performance. Texas runs a lot of ISO, mid-range, heavy offense, which matches up well against the Arkansas defensive scheme. I love the spot. I love the matchup. Give me Texas here plus 5.5. And you know what? Little sprinkle on that money line, probably not a bad thing too. Arkansas has been insanely inconsistent. I think it's a great spot to get them. So give me the Longhorns here. Longhorns here plus 5.5, my friend.
I love this. I think the defenses are pretty comparable. Texas has a clear better offense and more efficient offense. And I haven't looked at this game yet, but I didn't, since you told me it was one of your picks, I didn't even look at this game, but I was checking my model and I love this play. I'm definitely taking this tomorrow. My model's got this Arkansas 77, Texas 75. So that close, there's no reason why you shouldn't sprinkle on Texas money line. They might win this outright.
You know what? I would love to see it. Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time to come on the show, talk little hoops. Wade and I do a show called Campus Locks. It comes out every Tuesday and Thursday where we each give a play. Wade has been in Fuego. He's hit 10 in a row. He's sitting on Nevada minus 12.5, I believe, for tonight. Is that tipped off yet?
Yeah. I haven't looked into it since we've been doing this.
I love me a little Mountain West on a Tuesday night, man. Is that tipped off yet?
Man, I missed a minus 11.5. It went to minus 11.5 for like a split second. I was going to lock it in and move back. So I was.
Nevada's up. I mean, it's in the first, early in the first. They're up 3. Yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing to really look at it now. Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time to come on, check out Campus Locks. We'll be kicking at that. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and everything, my friend?
Yeah, just come check me out at Top Flight Wagers. That's where I'm at on all social media. I may not be active everywhere every day, but threw a couple plays out on Instagram and TikTok today and YouTube. Didn't get on X today, man. I've been so darn busy, but get back on X tomorrow. I'm usually running a giveaway, so come check that out. If you want to come check out the Discord, Erik's in there as well. He put some plays in there here and there. So got a couple cappers in there. Mine's paid VIP, so if you want to get all of my plays, just come check the link in bio. You get a free access. Come peek behind the curtain if you want. Got up to plus 34 units up here over the weekend, so I'm trying to claw to see if we can get up over 30, 40 units for the end of the month. So got a couple days here left, man. So good luck to everybody on their picks. Let's cash these babies.
Awesome work this month. Make sure to check us out next week when Ty comes back. We're going to talk. Ty's a big Michigan State guy, so make sure to check that out. Until next week, and good luck in your bets, my friend.